here we are at episode 6. Hopefully now I have my mic situation figured out. 6 episodes in.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Coffin podcast with Cryptic Jasmine and Juan Black.
Sounds great.
Yay, all right. Cool. Oh. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Coffin podcast. I'm Juan Black. Hey, you got your mug. It's Cryptic Jasmine. And this mysterious dark box down here it's somebody from the dark web that just kind of just hacked into here, and they want our credit card information now.
Yes, I would like your credit card information, your social security number, your birthday, and your mother's maiden name. Thank you.
I mean, I could give that to you, but you're gonna be in more in debt than you probably already are. So you're probably not gonna want to do that.
I mean,
yeah, I'll give you hers.
Somehow you just send the scammers your debt. They start getting all your bills.
Like, I'm gonna steal your identity. Oh, thank God! Can I have another one?
I'm free.
Finally, somebody else can fucking take this court case.
If only.
I'm gonna steal your identity. Oh no, please don't take my crippling debt, please. Please don't take my $38,000 college student debt.
Oh God.
That's like with the demon possessions. Like the demon possesses you and then finds out you got like arthritis and everything else going on.
You're like, finally, someone else feels my pain. Oh.
So actually, today we're joined by my mysterious spouse Apollo, who's just hiding.
I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I'm the opposite of mysterious. I can't shut up. As I said earlier, I have to say things or I will die. All the weird things. Gotta say them. Gotta make everybody uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Well, you've come to the right place.
All right.
Indeed. Hell yeah, brother.
God.
Who's that? Is that Hulk Hogan?
I think it's like an amalgamation of all the wrestlers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little Hogan, it's a little Randy Savage, it's a little some other guy.
Not some other guy.
Yeah, some other guy.
Randy Savage.
So Jasmine, how's been your time since our last episode? That good. Wow.
Honestly, it's like a blur. I feel like January went by pretty slow. I usually feel like the time is just speeding by, but January I was like, oh wow, it's still January, And I kept feeling like that like every week. Wow, it's still January. February I kind of felt the same, but March it like disappeared. I'm like, where the hell did March go? But basically I was like on antibiotics for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah, very fun. Good times. But it kind of forced me to kind of like you're doing reassess my health and my habits and everything, because when you're on antibiotics you cannot eat anything. Like you can't have dairy, you can't have caffeine, you can't have citrus, like you basically just can't have anything. But
That's
it did
bullshit.
like it really is. Like every time I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat this because this is healthy, I'd like check like halfway through eating it and it's like not advisable to eat on antibiotics. I was like, no. I felt like I just kept fucking myself up, and that's why I couldn't heal. I don't think that's actually why, but yeah. Long story short, that was pretty much the summary of my 3 weeks.
Oh.
And I think I finally got better. I hope, but it did force me to start taking my health more seriously. So that's the good thing. That's the bright side.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, because the food addiction was real, and I feel like this actually kicked my ass to take take that seriously. But yeah,
Yeah.
what about you? Both of you. I guess one at a time, though. Even though you live together, I'm sure you have a lot of overlap.
Yeah, like I'm trying to as I'm sure you're aware, he's been having some issues regarding some blood sugar stuff, and I've been doing my best to do even more cooking than I usually do, which is saying something because I do 99% of the cooking anyway. But I'm looking for different recipes and trying to help him out with that. And um, the downside of that is I find that because I'm already chronically ill and disabled, I find that by taking care of him, I'm just not taking care of myself. I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Oh.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm the expendable one here. It's fine. Like,
No.
like, I'm like, nah, it's cool. It's cool.
Oh, like trying to find that balance.
No, I'm not even trying.
No?
No, it's because where food is concerned, like I have the opposite issue of food addiction. Like, not that, you know, anybody's food issues are more or less valid, like, because it's all what the fuck is a body? Why do we need to feed
Yeah.
it? Why? What is this?
What is this weird existence?
Yeah,
Why are we here?
this meat prison that I am stuck in.
Yeah,
But
totally.
but yeah, no, like almost everything makes me sick, so I more or less just eat
Ooh,
what I want and hope for the best.
that really sucks.
Yeah, but it's also been like that since I was 17, and I'm gonna be 39 this year, so it is what it is. Or as our friend King Cobra JFS says, it is what it is, tubes.
God, keep quoting that. That's become a life motto, I guess.
I say that all the
That
time
and
too,
the
though, because it really is what it is.
that
I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, it is what it is.
that and Jasmine, do you watch Willow Davis at all? This YouTuber named Willow Davis.
No, I don't know who that is actually.
Okay, so I know you and Juan have talked about King Cobra JFS at least on one occasion. Um, the internet loves to hate this man, but anyway, so Willow Davis is someone who does commentary on King Cobra's videos, and there is one where he is quoting an event or not Avenged Sevenfold, sorry, Five Finger Death Punch
Oh,
song.
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's already bad news.
Yeah. And so the quote was, I got all this weight on my
Oh my
goddamn
God.
shoulders, and I'm just trying to live my motherfucking life. And
I
so Willow Davis kept quoting that over and over again in the most deadpan voice. And so now me and Juan are just going around the house
Yep.
randomly saying, like, I got all this weight on my goddamn shoulders. I'm just trying to live my
oh
motherfucking life.
Now, see, once again, like, look at because I got the screen kind of like expanded so I can see everything more clearly, and I'm noticing behind you. So I'm like I said, I've been watching like those creepy YouTube videos too much, where like I'm expecting like something to just kind of walk past the background.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I was actually just thinking, why the hell is it so smoky in here? I'm I I don't know what's going on. I gotta check actually.
You're the one that has a weed smoking
Why
ghost.
why is there smoke in here? This shouldn't be happening. Okay, here's a candle blowing that out. I don't think it's coming from there. Oh, I do have all this incense burning, but Jesus, why?
Oh God, it's like a found footage film. This is starting to get creepy. Oh no.
Oh no, the incense.
Let me.
Not the
No,
insect.
look, it's. Can you tell it's going nuts? It's
Yeah.
like a lot. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, it's actually like getting really smoky in here.
I thought that was your coffee. I was like, damn, that's a hot cup of coffee.
My piping hot coffee.
Mmm.
But that explains why it's so
Incense
smoky in
flavor.
here.
When Folgers just doesn't cut it.
Right.
Okay, sorry, I got totally distracted because I was like, where is the smoke coming from? At least it's just the incense.
Number 5. Creepy coffee mugs.
Oh no, chills.
A woman in San Diego was haunted by a ghost inside her coffee cup. Wow.
That's so good.
Yeah, we used to watch a bunch of those until his voice just got too annoying.
Yeah, same. Like peace and love, because it's part of what attracts you to it, but then it's part of what detracts you from it too. Eventually.
Actually, Juan, I don't know why you said we, because I've watched like 1 or 2 Chills videos, and I'm like, this dude's making me want to go to sleep. I can't. His voice is. I can't. And then I would just
He's-
walk around the house repeating just random things in the Chills voice, just because.
Wow, Chills has 6.2 million subscribers.
He does.
And the most recent video has 30,000 views, so still doing good.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, for talking weird, he gets the views. Wow.
I think that definitely was part of the appeal. I think it helped stand out.
You know he actually does music.
That's unfortunate.
I did remember.
Just him.
I don't remember hearing it.
It's just him like
It's fine.
rapping, but in that voice. Yeah, it's fine
No,
that you haven't heard it.
no. Are you serious?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
In that voice.
I almost want to find it for you.
Oh,
Almost.
my God.
Please don't.
But
Please don't.
Please don't.
if
Paula's like, I'm leaving.
Yeah. See, if Paula wasn't on here, then I might consider looking for it.
If our 17 years together has meant anything to you, you won't do this to me.
I'm not.
That's saying a lot.
Look, I've put up with a lot, sir. Your ex, all of them.
All of them.
I put up with a lot, sir. Please,
Oh.
please, sir. I want some less.
No, not that I want some less.
I do. Please, sir. I want some less.
So yeah. Anyway, I'll in case anybody didn't know, because I didn't mention it in the last episode when we were so busy and just having a good time chatting up with Rachel. And by the time this airs, obviously it's gonna be way past it. But I just had a birthday last Saturday.
That's right.
So yeah, I am.
How was your birthday?
It was nice. It was actually really nice. I mean, except like towards the end of it, it got cold, which is weird. I mean,
and rainy.
Yeah, the very first day, like because I took like 4 days off, and that Friday was actually kind of hot. I think it got up to like 80.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 80.
Yeah. So me and Paulo hung out. We had Korean barbecue.
Ooh.
Ate too much. I just shoveled meat and kimchi in my mouth. It was great.
Hey,
sounds like a good time.
It is low carb. Yeah. The rice wasn't.
No.
Can you have rice?
Technically,
no.
Not really. No.
Does it still spike insulin? Because I know like gluten and all that stuff obviously is like, you know.
Well, look at it this way. Brown rice is better than white rice, but white rice is still better than pasta.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So obviously, if you want a steady incline in your blood glucose levels as opposed to a hard spike, you would opt for brown rice or brown. They do also make brown rice pastas and pastas that are made with pea proteins and things like that, but they taste like garbage and they're expensive.
Have you had Cheetos?
Cheetos. Is that those little snacks made out of peas or something?
Those are delightful.
Well, no. Yes, made out of peas, but they're like Cheetos, but they're made out of peas, so they just call them Cheetos. It's just like such a weird name.
I've had them. I actually really enjoy them quite a bit.
Me too.
Yeah,
they're really good.
They have them in like there's also like a chickpea one
Ooh.
and a lentil one that's like tomato and basil flavor. They're really nice.
Oh, nice.
It's just when you say the name, it sounds a little weird.
Yeah, I know. That's why I laugh.
It's like the British pronunciation of pedo.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
don't go there. It's a bunch of pedos over there.
No, that's how they pronounce it.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. I didn't
My
even
my
realize
my
that.
best friend of almost 20 years lives in the UK, has lived there all their life. Um, and sometimes when we're having a conversation, I'm like, "Oh, that's right, you're not an American." just,
He's not American.
just just some of the pronunciation is like, "Oh, that's right, you're from a whole ass different country than me."
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh.
it was a lot of fun. Saturday it was raining, but it was still nice. The weather was still nice, but it was
It
just
only rained
raining.
for a little bit though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it didn't really rain that long, but
Yeah.
it was like what, about like 60s, something like that.
Mm, low 70s.
Low, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, it was still pretty nice, you know.
I was just happy not to have to be cooking my own food in 80-degree weather.
Oh my
like,
gosh. It
like when
makes
we
everything hotter.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was not having a great time. I mean, no, I was having a good time because I got to spend it, with Juan, and he and I like um just doing stuff together, which I feel like is pretty normal for most couples. I feel like most
Yeah.
couples like
You're
doing
like, what a
stuff
shock.
together. I don't know, man. I see some people and I'm like, why are are you two together?
Yeah,
You guys seem like you really don't like each other. But no,
that's
like
true.
it was fun. Like I always love going to that place with him, and um and I like all the all the fun and the experience of Korean barbecue, like picking your own food and like cooking it and all that. But when it's like 80 degrees and it's like 10 degrees hotter over that grill, oh, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the other thing because yeah, when you're having the grill there is like right in between you on the table, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh,
Mhm.
well, that's nice.
Probably would have been a little bit worse if we had hot pot because then we had it's steam in our face.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice, fun birthday activity, though.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
When's your birthday, Apollo?
Ah, was that the
Is it me
ghost?
or is
No,
this
that was
lagging a bit for anybody
that,
else?
That was Jeff.
yeah, no, it is lacking a little bit because
Okay,
I
so it's
hear
not
you
just
in
me
the
then.
room first and
Okay,
then I hear
cool.
you here. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
I didn't hear anything.
so I just
Oh, jeez.
so it's fine. It's
But yeah, stuff is kind of laggy. I think it's just our internet. Our internet's not the best.
Oh, yeah, sometimes it'll
yeah.
just straight up cut out. That happened to me a
Yeah.
lot. I was doing
Well,
interviews
Yeah.
last year or the year before last, maybe already, and it would just cut out on me all the time because my internet wasn't the greatest.
love that for us. And to answer your question, my birthday is in August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you do anything fun for your last one?
Uh, what uh, what did we do for my last? I have this issue. It's happened for like the last 5 years. Not to get like super serious, but I feel like it's pretty common knowledge at this point for anybody who knows Juan well or knows me. My mom passed away 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what kind of trauma that does to a person's brain, but like I literally don't remember any of my birthdays for the last 5 years.
Mm.
Because and I don't know why. I know I want to say I got a piercing
You did get
and
a piercing.
we also had Korean barbecue, right?
Yeah, actually, we did. Yes,
Oh, nice. It's like a
Okay.
birthday tradition.
That was the first time.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
We
Because
also went on a. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, what were you gonna say?
We also went on that really long drive where we drove out. I forgot the name of the area. where we go out and there's like a huge lake that looks like an ocean, and we drove
Oh,
past
Fishers.
Fishers. Yeah, it was like way the fuck out there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Jasmine doesn't know where that's at.
Yeah.
And that's
But I can imagine
it's
a
nice.
big lake.
It's nice. It is not the kind of place that Juan or I would ever move to because it is predominantly white and Republican. So
And also expensive to live because
yeah,
the area.
Fishers is
It's a
very
very
expensive
nice
to
area.
live. But yeah, no, I just keep forgetting my birthdays.
Mm.
I don't know if that's because I'm almost 40 and they just kind of meh birthdays, you know.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know what psychology there is behind it, but I'm like, what did I do last year for my birthday?
Yeah.
And this year we'll probably plan something cool, and next year I'll probably forget that too. So, which I feel bad for Juan because he makes such like a big effort to make birthdays a big deal
Oh.
because you know I we grew up like dirt poor, so birthdays were not, you know, they just weren't a big deal. You know, when you're a poor kid, birthdays aren't that big a deal. And I've never really been a huge birthday celebrator, despite being a Leo. You would think
Yeah.
a
I
party
was
all
gonna
about
ask
me.
too if you were a Leo or a Virgo.
Yeah, no, I'm a Leo, so you would think that I'd be all about having a party for me, but no. I'm like, you want people in my house? Absolutely not.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's funny. It's funny because in terms of the like, I love birthdays. I especially love other people's birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
I do like to recognize my own birthday, but I do get kind of embarrassed by the whole like other people celebrating you aspect. Like I don't necessarily like that, but I just like doing something to be like, yeah, another revolution around the sun, almost like a
Well,
ritual thing.
that's kind of what me getting a piercing every year started as.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like because my mom always used to make like such a big deal about how unprofessional tattoos or piercings looked, despite having several of each herself. And I remember at one point she told me that I was never going to get a job if my face looked like a tackle box.
Oh.
It's and I'm like, well, guess what, Mom? I can't get a job anyway, so I might as well. I might as well be the reason TSA just takes a day off because the metal detectors just keep going off. Like, also, I just think they look cool.
Yeah.
I find people with a lot of body modifications to be really interesting and really cool, and I just want to be a part of that life. If I'm being honest.
Yeah. I agree. I was thinking about that the other day because it's like it's it's a commitment
Mm-hmm.
because like you said, it's definitely becoming more acceptable now than it was. Like I remember even like 10 years ago, like employers that had made me take out my piercings.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
couldn't like stay, on the job with them. But I definitely think that's changing. Like same with like different colored like hair and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely not as frowned upon. But I still think like if you're going to like tattoo your face or have piercings on your face, it's still kind of saying like, okay, like I'm committed to not living like a mainstream life,
Yeah, and
Which
to be fair, I tried being like the corporate professional person, and I went to college and I got my degree, and I did all the things that the boomers tell you have to do to be
yeah,
successful.
they're
And then
wrong.
yeah,
Sorry.
they're really
The
wrong.
They're
boomers.
so wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and not just that, but like I got so sick by the time I was 20. You know, like there wasn't anything I could do anyway. So I'm like, I'm sitting here $38,000 in debt. My degree is
Yeah.
useless.
Oh,
Like,
there goes that ghost
so it's
again.
like, yep. And it's like, I like I understand the necessity of looking a certain way if you want to be successful in a certain field. I am in no way ignorant of that, so it definitely wasn't like a rebellion thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I just think it looks so gorgeous, and
Yeah.
I feel better about myself with more piercings. And people are like, "Well, you're attractive. You have a nice face. Why would you do all that?" And I'm like, "Okay, first of all, it makes men leave me alone. That's that's the first one. It makes men go, ugh, no, which is exactly what I want. And also, I don't know. There's just something otherworldly about someone with a whole bunch of intricate piercings and tattoos, specifically on their face,
Yeah.
because that's what the first thing people see when they look at you. And yeah, that's I deeply respect and admire the commitment to be so much yourself that you're like, I'm gonna have a cyborg eyeball. That's just what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, and like you said too, like I know I said that you're committing to being, I guess, against the mainstream or whatever, not to put it
Yeah.
that way, but like you said also, or because of other factors of your life, you're already, no matter what, gonna be counter to like what the mainstream is
Oh
telling you need
yeah.
to be. So it's like, well, fuck it. I might as well.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you're trans or you're queer or um you're a person of color who's deeply attached to your own culture and not
Mhm.
whatever American culture is, because I also feel like American culture is an individual thing. I don't think we should lump it all in together and like everyone's the same, because we're
Right.
really not. But
Yeah.
yeah, like once society or life circumstances has already placed you outside of what is acceptable, I really don't see the reason in denying yourself the aesthetic that you want.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Dead Souls Gothic Lounge. Dead Souls Gothic Lounge celebrates goth culture inclusivity twice a month. Every second Saturday at Wheeler with live music performances, and every last Tuesday of the month at Melody Inn with live music or guest DJs. Check out Facebook, Instagram for Dead Souls Gothic Lounge.
Totally. That totally makes sense. Yeah, I love and appreciate that too. Like, are you all familiar with the Dragon Lady?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's so amazing. Like, she's like one of the coolest people. I did you see that interview she did with uh oh God, what the hell was his name? Anthony. I want to say
Anthony
Anthony.
Bourdain.
No, that would have been interesting. Anthony. I want to say Pineda, but I don't think that's his last name. But he does a bunch of interviews with a bunch of different people.
I, I've
Probably not.
seen I've seen a lot of interviews with her, so I've
Mhm.
probably seen the one you're talking about, and I just find her to be such a fascinating
Yes.
person.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's like everyone's call to be the most fully themselves is so different. And like
Hmm.
that's her call to be the dragon lady. It's so cool. Like just to see that, you know?
Yeah, like some people, the call to be most authentically themselves is to get married and have children
Right.
and raise their
Yeah.
kids in suburbia, and that's fine if that's a life you can,
Right.
if you can make that work financially, just
Yeah. I
financially
know.
alone,
No kidding in this day and age.
right? Like if you can raise children comfortably and in a relatively safe environment, God bless, good for
Right.
you. Do whatever you want. But I also think there needs to be room for um, expression of the self that is not automatically tied to the identity of husband slash wife, mother slash father, things like that.
Yeah,
Not that
definitely.
not that I think that those roles are not important in society, because I definitely believe that they are. Um, but for me, and I know for a lot of other people, those uh those are things that because of circumstances or personal choice, that's just not going to be in the cards for us. So
Totally, I feel that. Because, like, I'm pretty sure that's not in the cards for me either. There's still maybe a tiny chance that there is, but like you said, financially, oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't
Well, and
think so.
also, even if finances weren't a problem with the current state of the world,
Yeah, I think
you
about that
know,
too.
like politics aside, because you can ask Juan. I'll never shut the fuck up if I get into politics right now. I won't. But politics aside, our planet is dying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have a growing crop of nieces and nephews because I have multiple siblings, and I'm like, what is life going to look like for them? Because
yeah.
one of them is 22. He already works 2 jobs, and he doesn't even live on his own. He still alternates back and forth between his mom and his dad's house, but he's still working 2 jobs just to have money in his pocket. One of
That's
my other nephews is trans. Like, what's his life going to be like? And so it's like, if even if finances and politics weren't the issue here, which they absolutely are, um, even if those weren't the issue, like the the planet's dying, and the fact that we had to have a global pandemic for the planet, for the ozone layer to heal itself a little bit, meant multiple of us had to die for the planet to be like, "Whoo, I could relax a little bit." And I'm like, I don't want to bring kids into that.
yeah, I feel that. I strongly feel that. That's like a big one. It's like my main big ones are like financial, and then just like what's the word? Generational trauma, and like not
Hmm.
perpetuating that into the, if I ever had kids, like working on myself first. Like, not to the point, people always, when I bring that up, people are always like, "Oh, well, you're never going to be perfect. No one's perfect." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But like there's a point where you're like, "Okay, like I feel like I can manage my emotions. I feel like I'm not going to take it out on this kid that is like not their fault, you know?" Like
Yeah.
certain kind of like milestones and like levels of growth. But like even if I hit that, it's like you said, well, the world is fucked. Like, why would you want, like, if you care about your kid and you love your kid, even if they're not even existing yet, why would you do that to them, kind of, you know?
Yeah, and I also I admit that I greatly dislike the no parent is perfect argument because um there's a difference between making mistakes that every parent makes,
Right.
normal, like maybe you let your kid have a little bit too much cake at that birthday party and now they're wired and their tummy's upset, or
Right.
you didn't instill bedtime when you should have. Like, those are normal things that anybody can make. That's a mistake anybody can make. But
Yeah.
some of us don't need to have children at all, because of generational trauma, and some of
Yeah.
us would make good parents, but there are absolutely things we do not want to give to our kids that were given to us by our parents.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, nobody's perfect. No, but I can fuck up my kid a lot less if I'm a better version of myself.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're right there, Juan.
Yeah, I'm good.
I
Okay.
was gonna ask you something too, but I was like, what shall I ask?
But yeah, and I agree with that. It's like I because I've always want to be like I have had weird stigmas around like kids anyways. Like not necessarily kids themselves. Like kids are fine. I just mean as far as having kids. And I mean that's caused problems here and there, but on the other hand, it's just like, there's things I'm not gonna get into at the moment on here, but it's just some past things that kind of happened that made me go, I'm really not wanting to have kids, and it's kind of something I've kind of carried with me. And yeah, and also, but on top of with all that, yeah, just with the way the world is right now, just don't want to bring kids into that. And like,
Also, I feel like there's an incredible lack of community amongst people,
Oh yeah.
and we don't really support each other in a way that is meaningful. Like they say, it takes a
That's true.
village to raise a child, and that's true. And we don't. I mean, I can't speak for myself because I am very much the type of person that would be involved in families' children's lives because I can recognize how difficult it is, especially for like single moms. Like, they need more help. Actually, sometimes even the married moms who have a husband right there need more help than the single moms because he's like an additional child almost for some women. um but I guess also like I'm I'm Native American and like a few other things where we're very family centric. It's we feed you, we'll take care of the kids, like we form community because that's how you get along. That's how you progress as a people, as a society. But it really seems like in more modern times it's more an age of instant gratification, and with that means complete and total self-interest and not an interest in building community with people.
Definitely. I feel like so much has changed, like even just since the 90s, even since when like I was a kid. Like so
Hmm.
many things have changed. It's like mind-blowing. But I think that's true. And then I think just the nature of how difficult it is to survive now just leaves people exhausted with like nothing left to give. Where it's like,
Yeah, that
I'm
too.
barely hanging on by a thread. I would love to help you, but I've got nothing left. And maybe on
Yeah,
occasion
we're
you've
all
got
struggling.
something left. Yeah. I think that's unfortunately a big part of it. And instead of figuring out a way that we can like struggle together in a way that like helps us all, we're just struggling alone.
Right, and that's part of like, I mean, that is the big problem. I feel like um starting small would obviously be the easiest way to achieve that, but I also feel like through years and years and years of people being forced into positions where they have to only think about themselves and their families, it's really um it's really taken away some of the compassion from people, because things haven't gotten better. They've just progressively gotten worse, and there's not a lot of room for desire to help your fellow man when you're trying to figure out how you're going to afford your kids insulin, or
Right.
how you're going to eat, in the next week when you don't get paid for 2 weeks, you know. So yeah, I think building community, like, I think can be done through small steps, but we also kind of have to want to make the initial steps, even if it makes us a little uncomfortable. And I don't see many of us being willing to make ourselves uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Now, I
that's
fully
true.
I fully recognize, like, you can't give where you don't have anything to give from. I totally get that, but you know, like if your friend texts you like, "Hey, do you have 8 seconds for me, or like 8 minutes for me to just complain real quick?" Most of us are so wrapped up in our own stuff that we don't just give our friend 8 minutes, and sometimes 8 minutes is all it takes.
That's true. Yeah, I like that though. Like finding small practical ways to build community. Because like I feel like I almost made, those videos. Have you seen have either of you seen those videos on YouTube that are titled I have no friends. I'm 40 and I have no friends. I'm 30 and I have no friends. I'm 66 and I have no friends.
I haven't. I don't think.
I
No?
have. Yeah,
Okay.
hi. Yeah, it's me. I'm almost 40. I have no friends. That's
Well,
not true. That's not true.
right. That's exactly how I felt though for a long time. I almost made one of those videos myself, but the premise of mine was going to be because I think I'm lucky enough to have people in my life that consider themselves my friends.
Hmm.
But for a long time, I felt like I didn't have friends because I didn't have the capacity to be a friend. So like all of my energy was just going towards like surviving, mostly like my mental health
Hmm.
and and like other ways too, but especially like dealing with like depression and stuff, just like trying to survive that by myself basically. um I felt like, oh, I don't have the capacity to be a friend, so I don't expect anything from anyone, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I've been trying to change that. I feel like I've come a long way. I think I've been lucky to have gotten like, I don't want to say gotten better, but I think I've been able to manage my depression better. Some circumstances have changed in my life that have actually, I think, just made me less depressed in general. But
Hmm.
that's helped me have more capacity for friends. And I realized like how, like, it's kind of a cycle. Like when you have the capacity for friends, it adds so much to your life to have them, you know, to like be
Yeah.
engaged. Like even doing these podcasts with Juan, I feel like, oh, I have a friend and we're doing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's and
It's like
so
hanging out.
yeah, exactly. But it just like adds so much to your life overall if you have the capacity to like take that step. You know, it's like what you're saying. The small steps can really add up.
Hmm.
Oh, we
Yeah,
went
I
all
agree.
deep.
Yeah.
We're like, me and Juan were like, we're gonna keep it all light today.
Well, this is the unfortunate side effect of me being involved in any conversation.
No,
I cannot for the
No.
life of me have a lighthearted, silly guy conversation. No, no, no.
no, I like it though. I like to go deep too. Because that's like the real stuff, you know, that's the real life
Yeah.
that, you know, everyone's dealing with.
Yeah. And I think yeah, I just think like uh I have two friends that I've been in a group chat with for a number of years, and um we got really really close after a particularly bad breakup, and a breakup that happened literally right after my mom died. I'm like, that was unnecessary and mean, but okay. um which it's fine, they were trash, it's fine, don't feel bad. The trash took itself out. But we got really close, and then throughout the years we've had moments where yeah, we've had like 5-minute check-ins because that's all any of our mental health can handle. And but it is also about like consistently making time for the 5 minutes. Yeah.
That makes sense. And I think it also sounds like you have a mutual understanding and mutual boundaries. And I think that's also what's changed this year. I think before, and me and Juan, we kind of talked about this on another episode a little bit before, where you said like advice that you'd give to your younger self is you wouldn't like give so much time to shitty people, you know?
Hmm.
And it's like, I'm not saying that, you know, everyone was like shitty, but a lot of people were very like one way streets, like one directional, like the type of person that you hang out with. And they're just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. They don't ask you anything about you. And it's like, you might as well be talking, they might as well be talking to a brick wall. Like, it doesn't actually matter that you're there. They just need someone there, you know? And like, I talk a lot too. So I'm not saying people who talk a lot, but it's people who like never don't have consideration for your boundaries, don't have consideration for your needs. It's just all about like you're just either an entertainment factor in their life, or you're just there to fill like a need for them, you know? And I feel like I've
Yeah.
gotten better at getting away from that type of person and creating more space and time for people that are like more mutual, you know, and respect your boundaries and you respect each other's boundaries and stuff.
Yeah. I like when you say people who just talk and talk and talk, and Juan looked directly into the camera, into my
Actually,
soul.
did
No, that, that's why
did
I said
not.
not people who talk a lot, because I talk a lot too. But I don't know.
I
There's a difference, you know.
I am a yapper.
Yeah.
I but you said that, and Juan like looked right at me. I'm like,
I
dude.
did not.
I'm like, you knew what you were getting into when you were like, yeah, you could be on the podcast, sure. Okay, well,
He
is what
peered
you
right
get.
into the darkness.
Yeah. And I was like, don't look at me like that. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I agree. It's I think too. I hate to keep going back to this because it makes me sound like a tool. But um,
No.
when you're disabled,
Why would that
you
make you sound like? Did you say a tool?
well yeah because to me when I'm making a point, some of the things about myself are there for added context. Um, like you'll hear me say because I'm autistic or because I'm disabled. Like the things are there to provide context, and usually people have been like, "We get it. You don't have to keep saying you're autistic. It's weird." And I'm like, "Okay, well, now I'm going to say it even more because you made me nervous about it, so I'm going to over explain that I'm autistic."
Who's been saying that
But
shit?
oh, you know who said that shit?
Oh
Don't
yeah.
even
Oh, never
be
mind.
quiet, sir.
I had to think about it for a minute. Shit. I was like, oh
Hurry!
yeah.
Get
um,
your knives and pitchforks.
right. But when you're disabled, unless you're already kind of a shitty person to begin with, like some other people I know, like they become disabled and they expect even more that the world revolves around them. But the way it ended up working for me is I've never expected the world to revolve around me. I've never been a person that wanted a whole bunch of attention. You can even ask Juan how many conversations he and I have had where he's like, "Man, I really wish my music was doing better so I didn't have to work this sucky job." And I'm like, if you want to sell your soul and your ass to the devil, my guy, you go right ahead. But I would never want fame. I would never want, because my autonomy would be gone. My right to privacy would be gone. I would never want that. So just having a bunch of attention on me in general is not typically something I want. So when I started getting sicker and I realized it was impacting my ability to continue certain friendships or relationships, I was like, I'm literally going to give people as much wiggle room and as much leeway as they need because I cannot, I do not have the capacity to be there for everybody like I used to be. I can't. And luckily, I've been very fortunate that the other people who have stuck by me have also been people who are sick or neurodivergent in some way. And like they get it. They're like, I'm so glad you're just shutting the fuck up for the next 3 days because I don't have the energy to talk and I would feel like a bad friend. So we understand each other.
I love that too. Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, that's terrible. But I totally understand, or I get what you're saying about people telling you like, oh, you don't have to keep saying you're disabled or whatever. And not only is that completely messed up, obviously, but they obviously don't get it. It's like
Yeah.
you don't understand why I have to say this because it's relevant. And if you don't understand the nuance and the difference that I'm trying to make here, that I'm trying to point out here, or the differentiation in my experience I'm trying to make, then like you just don't
Yeah,
get it.
because yeah, they don't get it because being disabled does provide you with a different understanding of what you're able to do and what you're able to provide. If
Yeah.
you're not disabled and you're not constantly sick, you you will never have a full grasp of what that's like for someone who is. So yeah, I do feel like the context is important, and if people
Yeah.
get annoyed by that, I'm like, okay, imagine how much it annoys me.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's just a sign that like again, they don't get it. We're like, well,
Yeah, exactly.
clearly you don't understand.
And that's fine. Just,
Yeah.
don't expect me to meet you at your level if you're not trying to meet me at mine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I see
What are you thinking, Juan?
I see Toast is just chilling, like
Yeah,
she's
you
not
know
being a
what?
menace.
Here's the wildest thing. Yeah. This is the comment she's been since we've done this. She's usually like doing stuff.
She's waiting
Now,
for you to go to bed so she can knock stuff off the table.
Yeah, probably. She's saving her energy.
That's so funny. She's always waiting. She's waiting until Juan starts talking to start meowing. She's waiting till y'all go to sleep to knock things off the table.
She's a little menace.
Actually, all cats are asleep except for Beans, who's just kind of just farting around right now.
What's he doing?
And she's just kind of just farting around, just sniffing around. Now she's just looking, gave me a dirty look.
Is she
You wanna
yelling
come
at
say
you?
hi? Come here. Come here.
You might have to bend down to get her.
Come on. Oh God.
It's Beans.
Beans is pretty big too.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
Not as big as Craig though, or about the same
Okay.
size.
Oh no.
No.
No, she's nowhere near as big as Craig.
Wow,
No.
and she's pretty big.
She is.
That's like stuff like, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, are they siblings?
They
Yeah.
are, yes.
Oh, how cute.
Thaddeus, don't start your shit, well, especially not
What
one
did
more.
you name them after? Because they're
Beans
beans
and
and
toast.
toast.
Yeah.
Is that like the British thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Their names were Callie and Anastasia, and I'm like, those are dumb names for cats. They're gonna be
Beans and toast. That's
Yeah.
cute.
I'm like, cute feminine names. That's dumb.
See?
Like, we have a cat named Queso,
Oh, nice.
and then Selma.
Oh.
Selma's massive. She is huge.
Oh,
She's right
wow.
here.
Oh,
Is
she's
she
right next
bigger
to
than
you?
Craig?
Yeah.
She is?
Wider,
Wow.
at least.
Oh.
Is she right next to you, Juan?
Yeah.
Hoist up the big lady.
Oh God.
Oh, look at those paws.
She's a big lady.
Wow.
She
You want to say
looks
something?
so perturbed.
She's like, why are you doing this to me? Oh.
Oh, big stretch from the toast.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why is everybody else getting attention but not me? Wait a minute, what the fuck?
It's like, I'm awake.
Yeah, that's toast, all right.
So we got into talking. We didn't discuss anything like upcoming or do our upcoming
Oh,
events
yeah.
section.
That's right. I have a few things. But you should go if you have a few things.
Oh yeah. I would have to dig them up first, so by all means, you go
Okay.
first.
Well, I was thinking because I feel like, I wanna give us some round of applause. I feel like we're definitely figuring things out. Having
Yeah,
some
we're
fun
getting there.
along the way. Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to do better about recognizing, what's going to be around the time that the episodes come out. So this one I think will be April 3rd. So
Yeah.
the only things, well, happy spring everybody because it's spring now, and April Fools that already passed for anyone who celebrates.
Yes. In the
Then we
future,
have
yeah,
some
we're in the past right now, so
yeah. We have some religious holidays coming up before, and then just tax day. So everybody do your taxes if you haven't already. That's like on the regular calendars. But yeah, the only things coming up within the
Juan, where was your
timeline.
W-2 so I could do your taxes?
So actually, guess who's coming to San Diego?
Who's coming to San Diego?
Ultra Sun.
Oh.
Wait, is that the one that you didn't get to see?
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry. I just remember you said they were cool, so I was like,
yeah. I love Ultra Sun. I just like they played out here not too long ago, and I wasn't able to go because broke.
oh, I'm sorry. Now I'm all like, guess who's coming to San Diego? The band you didn't get to see. But I just remember you brought them up and you said they were cool, and I was like, I'll look out for them. And then I saw the flyer and I was like, oh hey, look who it is! It's Ultra Sun.
Nice.
Yeah, they're coming April 11th, and they'll be in LA April 12th. They'll be playing at Brick by Brick in San Diego, and they'll be playing at 1720 Warehouse, LA. And then the only other thing I've got is All Shall Perish, a metal band, is playing in LA at the Regent Theater. I'm going. I have to be honest and say I don't really know much about that band. It's not a band I listen to, but my boyfriend really loves them, so that's why we're going. But and I'm sure it's gonna be fun. I love going to shows anyways, and I love metal. That's just like not one of the bands that I, ever got really into. But for anyone who hears this before April 4th, which will literally be the day after this comes out, and if you're in LA and you like All Shall Perish, maybe check it out.
I've heard a name, but I couldn't tell you what song or anything, what they sound like.
Yeah, me either. I think it's metalcore. I don't know actually. I'm not sure if it's deathcore or metalcore, but I think it's metalcore.
Now, wait, when
I've
you're talking
never
about
heard of either of these bands. Oops.
Well, now you have homework.
No.
But I don't do I don't do my homework. I've done like 10% of it over the last 6 episodes. Blame Fernando.
Fernando.
That's his theme song.
But yeah, you mentioned your boyfriend is like, are you
All
talking about
right,
your boyfriend
ABBA,
or the
something
ghost
I
that
know
keeps walking
about.
in your background?
Yeah, the ghost that keeps walking in the background. That would be him.
I'm gonna like do an edit of that. It's like, hey, number 14
Yes.
podcast ghost.
Oh my god, please
Fernando.
do. That's so funny. Watch
Is
again.
it the ghost of Fernando? Wow.
That would
You
be
think I'm
amazing.
lying?
I'm all for it.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm
gonna
all
do
for it. I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna do it.
Podcast ghost.
Is he looking for a ghost snack? I don't know.
Look
It's
again.
a work in progress.
Did you
Yeah.
see it? That's not his voice at all.
I'll put like the little red circles around, just like pointing
Yeah,
at random
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on this movie.
It's just the dude in
Watch
the background eating
again.
Cheetos.
Yeah. Pedos.
Yeah. You're eating them pedos. Damn them pedos.
God,
Actually,
it
it'd
seems
be
like
fun.
such an appropriate moment to make a King Cobra joke.
Oh. Oh no. Well, it is what it is, Tubes, you know?
It is what it
He's,
is.
he's just got all this weight on his goddamn shoulders. He's just trying to live
He's
his
trying to live a
motherfucking
life.
life.
Actually, so I'll bring up an event next.
Yes. Okay.
For you people in Indianapolis, on Saturday, April 12th, is going to be the Dead Souls Goth Prom 2025. Mimi, I have to get my reading voice here. Dead Souls Goth Prom 2025. Get ready for a night of gothic elegance and darkly captivating music at Dead Souls Goth Prom 2025. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 12th, and join us at the Enchanting Healer, where the night will come alive with haunting melodies, creative expression, and community. Lose yourself on the dance floor with okay, well, you get that point. Who's gonna be there? It's $10 cover, all ages. Is there Gothic? There'll be Gothic clothing swap. Participate in Gothic clothing swap to bring your own contributions that you're looking to trade. Well, I guess they don't have a list of live performances yet. But hey, you got a Gothic prom, and there's a lot going on, and Healer is always a good time. So
Healer is phenomenal. I could not recommend it more.
What is that?
That is that's a local hidden away venue. That's where they do Dead Souls Gothic Lounge at like
Oh,
once a month.
cool. Oh,
They
nice.
also they also do some other events there. It's like it's a venue, it's an art gallery. Also has a tiny little bar inside, kind of sort of separate from everything. So that way
Yeah,
everything else is still all ages.
that's cool.
And oh, Apollo, you didn't know about this, by the way. Apparently, there is now an art gallery next door to it as well. Now,
Oh, sick. I love that.
yeah,
See, you
yeah.
didn't tell
I
me
had
that
took a
this
bunch
was
of
like a
pics.
prom thing.
Well, it's in April the 12th.
Is that an
We got
annual
time.
event?
Yeah, with the goth prom.
I
Yes.
think that it's an annual event, but I don't think it's at Healer.
Oh, okay. So
No,
they
this
might
one is
change.
Healer.
Okay.
No, this one is at Healer. I mean, there's other places that do goth proms
No,
or.
that's what I was saying. This one's at Healer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're saying I have an excuse to get a new dress?
I mean, do you really need an excuse?
No, but I want one.
Yeah,
Ooh,
fine.
are y'all gonna go or try to go?
I would like to.
Possibly. Oh,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh.
I
Will you
never
take
got to go to
pictures?
my actual prom.
Me neither.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
only
right.
went
Both of
to.
us didn't go finish high school.
No, we sure didn't. We had to go get them their Cheetos or 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 Geds.
Oh, I was like Cheetos.
Yes, I have a diploma. They gave us Cheetos. Yes. Like here you go. Here you go, kid. Good luck with life.
That's
They-
honestly.
They
That
pinned a
feels.
20 to our collars, dropped us off downtown, and wished us the best of luck.
Today's episode brought to you by
That's how we ended up in LA.
With nothing but a bag of Cheetos.
I didn't even have Cheetos. I had actually I was like starving and I had sold some when I first got off the bus when I got to LA. It was like in 1991. I was so hungry I decided to like sell some of the cassette tapes I had on me.
Oh wow,
And with a little bit of money I had, I bought like a loaf of bread and a pack of bologna. And that was like the first thing I ate when I was in California.
that's a classic choice. It'll go a longer way.
Yeah.
And he will not eat bologna to this day. He's like,
Oh,
never
No,
again.
occasionally I would eat bologna fried up.
ooh,
But
fried bologna is different for sure.
Yeah, it hits different for sure.
it
Yeah.
slaps.
Yeah.
There used to
Oh, sorry. Go for it. Go for it.
now I was just gonna mention there used I don't know if it's still there or not, but there used to be this place called Sunset Grill. It was on like Sunset Boulevard over by a Guitar Center, like
Oh,
years ago. And I remember going there one morning with my ex friend, and like they had these breakfast sandwiches that were like with egg and they had like they had fried bologna on them, but there was just something about them that were just so fucking good. I mean, I don't think it's there anymore, and if it is, it's probably like a little bougie place now, and they probably don't even like recognize bologna as a thing they have there anymore. It's like bologna.
yeah.
Oh no, this is the Sunset Strip. We have only the finest imported fucking salami or something. I don't know.
I
They-
will fight any restaurant owner on the Sunset Strip to try to make it sound like that place should be bougie. I've been on the Sunset Strip. There's nothing remotely
Yeah.
classy about that place.
all I think about is Motley Crue when I hear that, which also doesn't
I
necessarily
rest my
ring.
case.
Yeah, exactly. I rest my case.
Exactly.
Speaking of Motley Crue, I actually met Nikki Sixx like back in the late '90s on the Santa
Really?
Monica Pier. Yeah, him and his now ex-wife. They were still married at the time. Him and his met her and his kids and everything. Yeah,
Aw.
I used to have a picture. I used to have a picture with them, but that got lost over the years because this was
Yeah.
30 years ago. So
Yeah. I
I
hate
was
that.
8 years old.
No way.
yes, you are.
I
What
was
year
8
was
years old.
this?
This was the late '90s, so it's probably
Oh,
like
I wouldn't say it
uh
was the late 90s. I would have said it was like the mid 90s because the late 90s I was in my teens.
right. Well, I was talking about when I met Nikki Sixx on the pier because I was
Yeah, that's
with
what I was talking about. You said you met him in the like 30 years ago.
yeah.
And if it was
So
30 years
yeah,
ago, I only would have been 8.
so yeah, that would have been like in 1995. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
oh
Ugh,
wow.
He's
ugh.
like, ugh.
I
That's
know.
a
Honestly, it tripped me out. It tripped me out yesterday when I was like, "Oh shit, 2020 was 5 freaking years ago, dude. Like, how is that even
yeah.
possible?" I mean, obviously, it doesn't feel like it because like we were basically robbed 2 years with the pandemic
Yeah.
and then other stuff. But it's just like, damn, no way.
Yeah, it's been
But
a
yeah,
time is wild.
time is weird. Yeah, and it doesn't help that like no matter how old you get, you still feel 12. Well, I do, anyways. I think everybody's got that age that they always feel
Yeah, it's
like
like
they
I'm
still
50.
are.
I'm like it was like I said in another video that I made. It's like I'm 53, but I don't even know what 53 is supposed to feel like still.
Yeah, I
So I'm
don't think
like,
anyone does.
what's that supposed to feel like? I don't get it.
I am somehow 65. All the
You're-
adults in my childhood would be like, "Oh, you're just an old soul." No, Barbara, I'm traumatized.
oh, I'm somehow 65. All of our internal
Everyone's like,
ages.
"I feel like I'm perpetually 12." Or
Yeah, you're like I'm
one
perpetually
person's like, "I just
Yeah.
65.
kind of feel like I'm always 12." I'm like, "I've been a grumpy old man since I was a toddler. You don't understand."
Oh, that would be funny if you had some photos too,
That's
where you're just
okay.
like,
I enjoy it.
yeah,
I do. When I was a baby, I just had this pissed off face.
that's amazing.
Just just this grumpy baby. And Juan will look at me. He was
It
like,
sounds
"Why?" Juan was like, how do you look exactly like your pictures as an infant, just
Oh,
mad?"
yeah, yeah. You'll still look like Grumpy Baby.
grumpy old man.
I look like grumpy baby and grumpy man at the same time.
It's because you are Grumpy Baby and Grumpy Man at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I am. I feel both seen and a little bit attacked.
Well, if it's any
It's
consolation,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine. It's probably fine.
Probably.
Oh, also, I forgot to show you. Also, for my birthday,
Oh yay.
couple good friends of mine gave me a present, which is going to be pretty useful to me once I figure out how to use it.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it the beat boot machine?
It's the beat boot machine. Oh God.
Ooh, that is awesome. Yeah, that's an amazing gift. Shout out to your band. Was that until We Are Dust?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, because we were going to I a quick update on that because I know we were talking about how like I was doing the like Black Sunday was gonna be playing this like a World Goth Day live stream
Oh,
thing in
yeah.
May.
Yes.
Well, a couple of my bandmates are actually going to be moving out of state, so
Oh, what?
we
No way.
we yeah, so we can't commit to playing that.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to just switch. I talked to the guy running it and just switch it out. So I put on Until We Are Dust there instead.
Oh, wow. When did you find out?
Uh, it was like it was talked about like maybe a couple weeks ago or so. But yeah, it's and now things are a little bit more confirmed. So it's like,
Oh. Well, I guess, if they're doing what's best for them,
oh yeah,
good for them. But how are you feeling about, that?
oh well. I mean, people got to do what they got to do. I mean, they actually still want to try to play with the band still because I mean, where they're moving is like it's like a couple hours away. They're wanting to do a commute occasionally for practices and shows. I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
I don't. I mean, I was like, are you sure you want to do that? I mean, if you have the gas, I guess, but that might get a little tricky because gas is starting to get a little more expensive. It's creeping up now.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like up here. It's like the gas stayed cheap for a minute, but it's like, yep, there it goes.
There it goes. With
There
everything
it
else,
goes.
along with the eggs that no one can find.
Yeah. Oh,
I also
find
feel
the
like it's a
eggs.
little unattainable too. Like
I
long
mean,
term.
if they can do it, hey, why not? Like Juan said, but it just sounds like one of those things that sounds like a good idea at the time until you actually try to do it and you're like, fuck.
Of course,
You know?
also because of this lovely thing we have called technology now, and since we can
Oh,
also
yeah,
we could still do some stuff long distance, and worst case scenario could still
that's
work
true.
it in as a backing track, so they're still sort of part of it, but
That's
they're not
true.
necessarily present, because like basically like a
Yeah,
lot of my backing tracks some are just like things I've done with people who are out of state. So I mean,
that's true.
there are ways to make it work, and where
Yeah.
when you don't have the extra gas money for like a long commute,
Oh,
you guys.
I think they chase each other back here.
Uh,
how cute.
I'll let
Look
you
at
two talk for a second. Excuse me a
look at
second.
Toast alert.
What are they
Here,
doing?
here you go.
She looks so
Oh,
perplexed.
Yeah. Oh. I love how Thaddeus heard me getting up, and he's like, "Oh, never mind." Okay, I can have my headphones back now.
oh,
She looked confused when I did it. She's like, "What?"
yeah. That's true, though. I think being able to create music together 100% still possible. I guess it's just the live shows that would be harder slash practicing for live shows that would be harder because not to bring them up again for like the third time in a row, but that band that I was talking about, the Ogre Packet Slammers, their whole band
Oh
is
yeah.
in the Bay Area, but the vocalist is in Houston, Texas, and they've never met in person, but they've put out like albums. um and then is other band, Xavius' other band, Manolith. Same thing. I think Brody, I think, is also in the Bay Area. I forgot exactly where she's at, but um, yeah, they never met in person either. So yeah, it's definitely possible to keep making music at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, if I got anything positive out of the whole pandemic era, is like just learning how to just make do with, like, working with people long distance and stuff.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
and then like, working with apps and stuff like that, and then just getting acquainted with that and everything. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now so far I'm at the point I'm at, and now I'm about to upgrade now because I've got a new beep boop to figure out.
Fun. Wow, what a trip. Does it feel like the end
Yeah.
of an era and the beginning of a new era?
Uh, no, so far, no, it doesn't feel like the end of an era yet.
Oh,
It's not like, 'cause just see how things go. So,
yeah. Well, that's cool.
I mean, if things work out and everything, and we could still have some capacity, keep it working in some sort of capacity. That's great because I do like working them, and they're decent, they're good players.
Mhm.
So we shall see how it works.
Yeah. Wow,
In the meantime, getting until we are dust up and running here a little bit more.
that's cool.
It's your first ever musical project that does not have the name Black in it.
Yes, yes, it is. Well, no. My first band didn't have black in it.
Oh,
What was your
Elegant
first band?
Bastards.
Elegant Bastards.
Oh, Elegant Bastards? Why does it sound familiar? Oh, I'm thinking of Arrogant Bastard, the um drink.
Yeah, but no, Elegant Bastards. We were doing. God, I was doing that from like 2001 to like 2009, on and off.
Wow.
And
I was, you and I got together around the tail end of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. And you all met in LA, right?
No, we
No,
met on
initially we
MySpace.
actually met on MySpace.
Oh, no way. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've asked Juan this like a million times, but I probably forgot. But oh wow, that's a trip.
Yeah, we met on
MySpace.
MySpace through his Elegant Bastards like
Oh, no
MySpace
way.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
and
cool.
we talked for a little bit and then we lost contact because he had stuff going on and I had stuff going on. Um and then later we reconnected and we actually got together on like the day before my 21st birthday.
Aw.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was, yeah. And then he came out to visit in October and then just said fuck it, moved here that the following like the next Christmas.
Oh wow. So
Or
that's when
like
you
the
moved out of
Christmas of the
LA.
same year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then in between and now there was some bouncing back and forth between Indiana and California.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then finally the last bounce back to Indiana. It's like, fuck it. Because California became like just not possible for
Yeah.
living for us, because
Yeah.
no, couldn't do it.
Yeah. No, I honestly don't know how anyone does it. Like, my boyfriend has like he's an accountant, so it's like quote
Yeah.
unquote
Right.
professional type job. And then I just got very lucky and got like a really good paying customer support job. But if we weren't making like what we're making, like I don't know how anyone is surviving off of anything that's not considered like, what I guess used to be considered middle class wage, which is like basically non-existent for the most part now, just because everything's so expensive. Like I honestly don't know how anybody is paying rent. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Especially now, I think rent's like rent was super expensive when we left in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Since then,
It's only gotten higher. Like the
Yeah.
yeah,
rent is astronomical. Like I remember when Juan first moved here, and we were discussing possibly renting a place out here. Um, I told him like, yeah, you could get like a 3 bedroom 2 bath like house to rent for like $750 a month. And he just looked at me like I was nuts because he, in LA, you're paying $750 at least at the time you would pay $750 a month for like a room that you in a
Yeah.
bathroom you had to share with like 6 other people,
Yeah.
And then by the time we left, studios were like $1,500.
Yeah, that's insane.
And
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
that
the
reminds.
studio's not even a full apartment, it's just a room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I feel like studios, even in San Diego, which is, I think, historically been cheaper than LA, maybe a little
Mhm.
bit. Now I think like you're
Lower.
lucky if you find a studio for like 2,500 or something crazy like that. Like even in
Yeah.
East County, which is like, not like in the city of San Diego, but like even in East County, it's like crazy expensive. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me. I forgot, Paul. I forgot to tell you this. The other day when I took a walk, like when I filmed that video.
On your birthday.
Yeah, I was taking a walk, and up the street from where we live at, there's like this cute, adorable little house, and I guess they're renting it out. It was like, I think 11 or 1,200 a month, and I'm like, shit. I was like, $1,100, $1,200
For a whole
barely gets you.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$1,100 barely gets you like a little closet in Los Angeles.
If
Out
it
here,
even gets you anything nowadays.
out here,
Yeah.
you get a nice little 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a little yard and everything. It was
Yeah.
cute.
Oh, sounds
So
cute.
that is the perk that living out here.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, for example, we actually live in a mobile home, and while that's not, no, a lot of people think it's not great to live in a trailer, but I'm like, okay, but I own it. So,
Yeah.
so the lot rent is like, even people who just who rent the trailers, they're paying under 1,000 a month. Whereas because I own the trailer, I only pay lot rent. We literally only pay 430, 435 a month in rent for
That's
the
amazing.
lot rent. Like, nowhere else am I going to be able to afford to live, like.
Yeah. I think
And
they're
so,
really underrated, honestly. And I'm not
Oh yeah.
sure why, because for the most part, I mean, they look and feel like homes. So,
yeah,
I mean, they are
I
homes, but you know what I mean? Like no differentiation for the most part. I don't
I
understand.
think there's a negative association because we assume anybody that lives in a trailer park is, well.
Yeah, just like negative stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe this is me having a bigger head than I need to, but I always think of myself as like Jennifer Tilly from Bride of Chucky.
Oh my
You
god.
know, have you seen
Yeah.
that? She's like
Yes.
this hot goth that lives in a trailer park,
Yes.
and that's like everybody around me is like pretty normal folk, and then anytime I walk out of the house, it's like, oh, it's almost like, not that I have a lot of interaction with our neighbors. They hardly ever see me, which I think adds to the mystery. Uh, but I think anytime our
So
neighbors see me,
serious.
they're expecting like a murder of crows to just descend on the ground where I stand. Because I get some looks. I get some looks. And that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, what an
The
icon.
grandma that voted for Trump, I want to scare her.
Yeah, sometimes you actually want people to be scared on occasion.
I mean, because if they're scared, they'll stay away from me, which is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
The
Stay
kids in the
away.
neighborhood are cool though. They're cool.
Oh.
Some of them. The girls are okay. The boys are. I wish their parents would wrangle them in a little.
Oh, what do
Yeah.
they do?
Oh, Juan, did you ever tell her about the little Johnny son of a bitch that would run behind our house and flip
I
off the
forgot
main
about that.
breaker
Yeah.
to the power to our house?
What?
Yeah,
No,
there
wait.
used to be this kid around here because like our breaker for the power to the house It's in the back, and they didn't have like a lock on it for some reason. I thought the electric company was supposed to have a lock on it or whatever, but apparently they didn't. And these kids used to think it was fun to run back there and just shut it off.
Oh my god. Like, why did they specifically mess with you all, or were they doing that to everybody?
I think it was just because ours was open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
And,
so I mean, honestly, that is some shit that kids would just do if they were bored.
Right, and I'm just like that. Oh,
You're like,
so
please don't.
not only that, but I'm like, where the fuck are your parents?
Yeah.
First of all, because I can promise you, if that kid gets electrocuted on my property,
Ooh.
it'll be my fault for not having a lock on there instead of their fault for not teaching their dumb child don't touch things that are electric.
Yeah. And don't touch things that aren't really yours to touch.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
Last night I had a dream. It was a dream like no other. It felt so real. I've always been alone, but not anymore.
when I was a kid, we didn't do stuff like that, like shut off like power to box people's houses.
Well, that's
You know,
true.
we did stuff like explore abandoned houses and get run out by whoever was shooting up in there, or or the kids would climb like if whoever's cars were parked and bounce on them like they were like trampolines, or stuff like that.
Juan, you grew up in the 70s. Y'all used to play with lead paint for fun.
Lead paint.
That too.
He used to play with lead paint.
They'd put it on their eyes, eat it. They didn't give a shit. the 70s, those kids were throwing lawn darts at each other.
And we
Have you ever seen a lawn dart?
No.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's this giant sharp piece of metal with like a tail on it that kids would launch up into the air
Oh my
and
god.
then wait for it to fall back to the ground.
It sounds like an Olympic event.
Kids were losing eyes in the 70s.
There's a reason why you can't find those anymore.
Yeah, because people got tired of their kids dying in their lawn.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's
Right?
really crazy. Yeah.
You could do anything in the 70s. Nobody cared about their kids during the day.
I used to, when I was a kid, I was like 8, 9, and I used to go to the store for my grandma, and I would buy cigarettes for her all the time. They
Unheard of now.
Yeah, you can't do that now, but like back then, I was like, I'm buying it from my grandma. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, you definitely couldn't get away with that now. So like some 10-year-olds like buying cigarettes.
The neighborhood I grew up in, we had a corner store where you could go buy cigarettes for your parents or your grandparents. Because
Wow.
everybody knew each other in the neighborhood. So
That makes sense.
if they caught the kids smoking, your grandma was going to beat your ass for that.
Yeah.
It's like when you live in a community where everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for shit I didn't even know people were watching me do. And I'm like, how did you know that? You were even home. I got eyes and ears everywhere.
Oh.
So, as much as I hate to do this, like I said, once again, because we try to keep these an hour, but also once again, like always, we fail to keep it just an hour.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
I am
we should.
long-winded bitch, so I am partially to blame.
It's fine. We should do this get together again like this sometime too.
Yes. And then we could even have like Rachel as well.
Oh, we could do a 4-way. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me sound like an asshole. Which Rachel? I'm sorry. He knows like 16 women named Rachel, so I don't know.
But no, Rachel LaFay. She's been in some of my videos.
Does she do the YouTube videos with the goth clothing hauls?
Yes.
Okay, so I know who you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like I said, he knows several women named Rachel, and
Yeah.
I don't know who's
Shit.
who.
One of them literally works up the street at the Walmart I shop at.
Does she?
Another Rachel, not this same Rachel.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Can
Rachel
you
LaFay.
ask these women to get nicknames or something so I can keep track of who's who?
Well, her name on YouTube is Delia LaFay, so
Yeah. Okay.
You could always, I guess, refer to her as Delia.
yeah, she's in Virginia. The other Rachel I will talk about, she works at the Walmart up the street from us.
Have I met her?
I don't know. I want to say yes, but I don't remember.
And this is a conversation you will hear he and I have on multiple occasions because I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Have I met this person?" It's like, "Yeah, that's my friend JC." Is she the one? No. That was someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a very I don't recognize people very well. So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I don't know that person. You literally said hi to them the other day. Okay. You say that
Yeah.
like it means something.
It's like
I know.
it's like my friend Steve Maslan, which shout out to him because I'm sure he's watching this. He'll be watching this.
Hey, it's Steve the Pirate.
Yes.
That's the only way I remember him.
That's how
Wow.
I have like if I mention, oh yeah, well Steve was like, blah blah blah, and I'll probably like, who? Steve. I know Steve the Pirate. And I was like, oh, the reason why, because like the first time we met him at an event, he was wearing like this it was like a white pirate coat. Was it white or was it different?
It was white, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
But like
cool.
it
and
makes
that's
me sound
also
like such a dick because I give people nicknames so I remember them.
Yeah.
And they think I'm making fun of them. I'm like, no, dude, my
Oh.
brain's just fucked.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I gotta call people Steve the Pirate or, what is the? There's another nickname I use for someone and it's slipping my mind right now.
I don't know.
There's so many.
I do remember an ex roommate of ours, her ex boyfriend used to come around. We used to call him Scuba Steve.
I don't even
Scuba
think his
Steve.
name was Steve.
It wasn't. It was nowhere near.
I was just calling him Scuba Steve because that's how. Unfortunately, I gotta come up with nicknames for people.
That
so
one-
I remember.
Aww.
Hi, Toast.
Yeah, she's like, Dad, it's breakfast time.
Is it?
It's not
Oh.
breakfast time. You're fine.
Actually, it is. It's like 1 something, I think, isn't it?
They have breakfast at 1?
They have
He
breakfast at 12:30. They're like, Dad, you missed it by an hour.
We usually give them like their quote unquote breakfast or their one can of soft food at around 12:30, 1 o'clock because that's when
Oh.
he's usually going to bed. And if we get them full, they'll usually chill out and let him sleep.
Oh. Wow.
Sometimes
So
it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Otherwise, they're just up and
Yeah,
running
Yeah.
around, not letting you sleep.
all up in
Yeah.
my Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Ain't there? I say all up in my Kool-Aid.
I apologize to Steve. I am not making fun of you. I literally just had to create a nickname so I would remember who you were.
Will you stop
I
playing? with
apologize.
ma'am. Stop playing with mic stand. Hey,
Steve, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
It definitely didn't sound like you were making fun of him,
No, and I feel bad because most people
No!
would assume that I am.
No, it didn't come across that way at all. Because I feel like, at least I don't know. I feel like maybe I put my foot in my mouth a lot, where I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
like it being complimentary, and then turned out I was being insulting.
Yeah, that's my life. I just tell people like, look, please do not take anything I say personally unless I'm directly insulting you. I'm just a silly little guy. I can't help
Aw.
it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
all right. So before I close out,
yes.
if we come to that section, any last words?
Yes, I don't want to make this long. Well, actually, Apollo's the guest, so Apollo, you go first. Your last words.
My last words are, I'm just going to quote a short story. I have no mouth and I must scream.
God damn it. No, not that one. No.
That's
No.
deep.
I said what I said.
Okay.
Also, don't have nightmares about that.
Imagine me saying I have no mouth, a chronic yapper. Of course. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Right.
I guess I'll also end with a short story related to nicknames. I hope it comes across as funny as it is, because you know how when people tell stories, it's like, oh, I wasn't there. Yay, not funny. But my dad and his friends all had nicknames. Everybody had a nickname, and they were kind of like, low-key mean, because this was like in the 70s as well. So everybody had a nickname in the friend group, and one of his close friends kept calling this other guy Gargoyle, like, hey, yeah, Gargoyle, Gargoyle. So one time my dad and this friend are at this party, and then this guy that they call Gargoyle shows up, and my dad all excited, hey, Gargoyle! And like my dad's friend was like, not to his face, fucker. But like I guess that was actually pretty insulting. So the guy was like, what? That was news to him that he was called Gargoyle.
That
Yeah.
reminds me, my growing up, my uncle, like in the early 80s, he had this friend. He had a friend he used to hang out with. His name was Pookie.
Pookie. Oh my gosh.
They used to just get together, hang out, and smoke weed.
Oh.
Why is it every old uncle knows a guy named Pookie?
I'm an old uncle now. I don't know a Pookie. I know a Steve the Pirate.
You need to find a Pookie.
No, but
No,
Pookies are problematic.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Problematic Pookie.
Yeah, because
Don't
Pookie's
say that to his face.
Yes, because Pookie is also something else too, which it wasn't that back then. It was
What
just
is
a later
it?
term.
Because that's also the first thing that came to mind was it's Garfield's
It's a pipe that you
teddy
smoke.
bear.
Yeah, I know, but it's a pipe that you smoke meth out of.
Oh.
Yeah.
And those are called Pookies.
That's so funny. Well, I guess I don't know if it's funny, but
Will you stop?
I mean, it's funny in a dark kind of way.
It is.
yeah.
In a
Yeah.
dark-sided kind of way.
Dark-sided stuff. Any
But yeah.
any last words, Juan?
Yeah. My only last words are number 14.
Get the fuck out of here.
San Diego apartment ghost. A girl in San Diego was recording a YouTube video when suddenly a ghost appeared behind her. You actually look behind you like, wait a minute.
And in her mug.
In her mug was incense. Was that for spirits to come and have a cup of coffee with her? Wow.
You know, Juan, when you're done with this, you can go to your other partner's house.
No, they're probably asleep right now.
Well, wake them up. I don't want to deal with that shit tonight.
You're like all just talking in your sleep as chills.
Kakin will comment on this video later, like, yeah, I was asleep. But yeah, anyway, well, thank you for watching. Thank you, my sweetheart Apollo, for hanging out with us.
It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it.
And being mysterious with your blank screen, making us think people in the dark web.
I'm not mysterious because I'm like, ooh, I'm mysterious. I'm fuck ugly right now. So
You are not.
I look like ass, so I would rather remain whatever the fuck this is.
He does not.
It still adds to the mystery. That reminds me, ASMR episode coming sometime in the future.
Oh, I can't wait.
Ooh, maybe let's figure that out for maybe the next episode. We'll do ASMR one.
Yeah,
That'd be so cool.
Let's all find some
I like how I'm automatically inserting myself in
Yeah,
this as if
why not?
as if I gave anybody a choice. I hear ASMR and I'm like, all right.
It's going to be an ASMR / try not to make each other laugh challenge sort of thing.
Yeah,
I look
that
forward
would be
to
fun,
it.
actually.
Easy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out for this whole episode.
Why am I waving? You can't see me.
Well, now we know in spirit.
See,
Yeah, there you go.
Eventually, I'll just make like a little cartoon and put it there of it's not a cartoon waving on. Anyway,
Sure.
subscribe to Cryptic Jasmine's channel. Subscribe.
Thank you. Subscribe to Juan's channel.
Yeah, if you're watching this,
Right
you're
here.
watching it on my channel, so subscribe to it while you're here. Be nice. Come on.
I don't have a channel, so subscribe to both of them.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. Thank you. Anyway, remember, no matter what this stupid ass administration says, you matter, and you deserve. You're worthy of love and respect. And remember to resist, persist, and exist.
Ooh.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.